So let's go into our effects and let's see if there's anything we can do in here. So we have this rise or fall serum. Let's maybe see if we can highlight the first half of this MIDI clip, and let's take a look at this automation and see what we're looking at. Sounds good. Let's copy it over. Okay, I love the way that sounds with those effects. Sometimes it really is that simple. Let's take a look at this impact. So what I like to do with these impacts is I like to highlight everything but the transient, and then option drag, which is going to duplicate this section over here. And then I'll double click to open up my sample viewer and hit this reverse button. And let's just make this like a shorter sweep. That just gives us like a little bit of an impact sweep going into the start of verse 1.1. Then the only other thing I'm really hearing is I think we can start previewing some of the verse synths in the end of the intro. So let's open up the breakdown synths, and I think what we can do is we can just copy this first bar, because we're not introducing our chord progression yet. So let's just copy that first bar and we'll paste this all the way through intro 1.5. And we're definitely gonna have to do some automations for this. So let's click on our auto filter and we'll hit A to open up our automation window. And we're just gonna make a shape that looks like this. It's gonna be filtering up over a long period of time. Hopefully we start to hear it peak in towards the end of intro 1.6. Okay, so what is happening? I think we might have some automation on the group. A little bit right there. We can delete that. Yeah, we have the reverb at 100% dry wet during this section. Let's just turn that all the way down. Okay, that's sounding really good. All I did here was I took this end automation point and I moved it over so it reaches that high point, but then sort of sweeps back down for the start of verse 1.1. And I think we can do the same with this respace. Let's just copy this first respace over here to bar 47. We'll do a similar automation where we start this out pretty low, we automate it up pretty high, and in the last like half bar or bar, we can start automating it back down.
Operate, dominate, elevate, generate.
Okay, that's sounding really good. I wanted to make sure I listened to it all the way through. The first thing that I heard that was sort of jumping out as me as something we need is we need to intro this acid pattern somewhere in the build up. So let's select the first bar of the acid pattern and we can option drag it to the beginning of build 1.1 and just drag it all the way across. So we can expand this track because we're gonna have to do a lot of automation for this section. So let's click on our auto filter. We're gonna make a point like this, one really low, and then towards the end of build 1.1, we're gonna make a point that goes pretty high. So let's listen to that.
Operate, dominate.
Okay, and that just sounds kind of boring to me. So maybe we can open up our serum and automate some of these macros like the cutoff. So let's make our point here and let's make a point here at the end, just similar to our drop. Okay, and something I'm seeing is the kicks from the sidechain are just completely drowning out this sound. So let's click on our dry wet and we're gonna automate the sidechain to turn off as the kicks grow faster. So let's just make a descending shape like this.
Operate, dominate, elevate.
And we're gonna have to do that to the sidechain on the drop synths as well. So we'll click the dry wet. We're gonna copy our automation from the compressor on the acid patch, and we're gonna paste that to the compressor on the drop synths.
Operate, dominate, elevate, generate.
So let's do some more automation. We can automate the reverb up over time, so it sort of washes itself out. So an automation like this might be nice, and I think let's automate the echo up as well. So at the end, it's just really delayed and washed out with reverb.
Operate, dominate, elevate.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Something else I'm hearing is I can still hear like too much of this melody as the acid patch is coming in. So on our auto filter, let's make a point here and we can just start filtering this back down as the buildup progresses.
Operate, dominate, elevate, generate.
Okay, so that sounds really good. I think something that it's missing is like a reverse going into the pre-drop or some sort of like bassy, brassy sort of low sound. So I'm gonna look through our project and see if we can drag any of the reverses over there. So let's try this bass reverse. We'll drag that so it reverses into the pre-drop. And maybe we'll take this other reverse as well and drag that over there just to transition like maximum energy into the pre-drop.
Dominate, elevate.
Okay, and let's make sure there's some reverb ringing out on this bass reverse. I think that'll sound nice. So let's add a reverb and we're gonna turn the decay up to like 10 seconds and we're gonna click on the dry wet and we're just gonna automate it up for this part. So we can make a point here, and a point here and create like this triangle because we only want the reverb to be happening for the reverse at the end of the build.
Dominate, elevate, generate.
And maybe let's add this reverse to the pre-drop as well. I just love the way this reverse sounds.
Operate, dominate, elevate, generate.
Let's move it over maybe.
Elevate, generate.
That's what the arrangement is all about to me. It's like, yeah, you need to put everything in the right section, but you also need to like add transitional pieces and different sounds just to like glue the parts together. So I'm gonna add one more sound to this pre-drop, and that is just some sort of like bass sound that happens at the beginning of the pre-drop. Let's make a new MIDI track and we're gonna add a serum. Let's just go through our presets and find something like a Reese. And let's make a 1-bar MIDI pattern and a note at A sharp. And I think we need like a really low note. So let's do like A sharp 0. And let's open up our preset and turn down the cutoff.
Operate. Dominate.
I don't like the way that sounds. Let's bump it up an octave and let's extend it out so it's a 2-bar note. And we need to turn this track down a lot. So let's go like -10.
Operate. Dominate. Elevate. Generate.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Let's just listen from the end of intro 1.6 so we know that the intro goes into the verse, goes into the build, goes into the drop.
Dominate, elevate, generate.
Everything sounds good from the end of the intro into the verse, into the build, into the drop. So I know that the song is flowing right.